Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but you may hear some noise in the background because I'm sitting in my office at work and it is absolutely pissing it down. So you may hear it in the background, you may not. I don't I don't know, but if you do hear it, I do apologize. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Grille, the Grille 15, a tank that I have always liked. I've absolutely loved this tank. I always have, and I always will. Now, of course, there is a tank that is in tier 9, the Waffle, which many people prefer. And probably, to be honest, I probably prefer it a little bit as well, but that doesn't mean I don't like the Grille. I absolutely love the Grille, and it is one of my favourite tank destroyers, not only in tier 10, but in the entire game. It's just... For me, it's amazing, and I know there will be players out there that doesn't enjoy the tank, and they may be a little bit picky, or there's just certain things about the tank that they don't like. Of course, one of them being it's got absolutely no armor whatsoever. So people will shoot HE at you, and they will tear you apart. But what I love about the Grille that the tank's got that pretty much no other tank destroyer has got is the mobility of the tank. You know, the fact that you can play it in almost any way, and I know it's got no armor, so yeah, of course you're not going to play it front line, but the fact that you can play this tank like a tank destroyer, you know, sat at the back of the map, and because of the mobility of the tank, you can get around and you can relocate very quickly. It's very quick for a tank destroyer. So basically, like you've just seen there, at 1 minute I'm camping at the back of the map, I'm doing a little bit of damage, I'm not getting spotted, and then when I do get spotted, I'm able to relocate into a different position, run around the map, and I can get there very quickly. So if there is a tank like this that is spotted at the back of the map, I can then relocate and I can get there pretty quickly. And of course, the best thing about the tank is this camouflage, which I've spoke about before, how I think it is pretty much one of the best camouflages in the game. And we definitely need more of these kind of camouflages for more tanks. And hopefully it is, I hope it is a start of something different, where we will start to see a lot more camouflages in the future like this. But yeah, obviously you can get destroyed, you can get absolutely ripped, and that's, you know, that's the thing about the Grille. You can get ripped, but you can get ripped like by trying at least. You can get damage very quickly. I think the reload at just over 10 seconds, 10.7 seconds, for a tank destroyer that can do upwards of sort of 600 to 700 damage. I think that is a fair, you know, a fair reload, and I think the DPM is quite solid for what it is. But it's a tank that there's a lot of people that don't like it, and it's a popular tank, and it's always going to be a popular tank. And it is one of those that you join tier 10, there's always one. There's pretty much always a Grille, either on your team or on the enemy team. There is just always a Grille out there, and yeah, I'm happy with that, you know, because I like to come up against Grilles as well. It's not only that I like to play against these Grilles, but I love to come up against them because they're juicy, you know, they're very juicy. But if you know how to play it, and if you play it in a certain way, you can actually perform really well. If you don't like this camouflage, which I will find very strange if you don't like this camouflage, it has got a few legendary camouflage. I think it's got, yeah, 3 in total, which is the Troublemaker, which was the first one. Of course, this 4-star, and it has the Raider as well. This is, if you don't know what the Raider is, it is for the Raid clan, because they was on Twister, etc., and this was pretty much dedicated to them. So yeah, it's I love the tank, as I've said. I absolutely love it, and Wargaming actually nerfed it a while ago. Pretty much like the mobility and the traverse, I think they, like, years ago now, and I've never really understood why they nerfed the freaking tank. It was never OP, it was never ever OP, but for what it is, it was actually very strong. So as you can see, the damage per minute, 3,252. Now we are running calibrated shells, just to give it that extra penetration. I don't think it needs calibrated shells. If you don't want to run it with calibrated shells, you're actually getting really good DPM. And again, as I said, that's just a 10.7 second reload. If you are going to run calibrated shells, you get 315 standard AP pen with 396 heat and 83 HE. So yeah, penetration is pretty solid, to be fair. You do have a 580 alpha gun on the AP, 490 on your heat, and 880 on your HE. So again, if you can get that HE out, it is well worth at least trying. Aim time is pretty solid at 3, and the dispersion is pretty goddamn good at 0.272. It only has 5 degrees of gun depression, but the top speed on this thing is 50 kilometers per hour. Now, just like we've seen in the first game, the thing I love about the tank the most, not about the camouflage, but well, that is pretty much the best thing about the tank, is, as I've said, is the ability to relocate. And this battle here, I mean, it's not the best of battles, and it's not the most OP battles, or it's not the highest damage game that you're going to see, but I wanted to show it because it does show the ability of the tank when you get into a sticky situation, and how you're able to just whiz around the map and get out of trouble very quickly. I mean, you've got the same kind of speed as medium tanks, so you know, if you're trying to run away from the other tank destroyers, or if you're trying to run away from heavy tanks, then you should be able to do so pretty easily. So what I usually do, obviously I don't like to go straight up the top on the game and play front line, because yeah, you can get wrecked pretty quickly. And you got to remember, everyone's going to shoot HE. Everybody. They should be shooting HE. You're weak. You've got no armor. You're paper. I obviously run the spool liner, which you should, because that at least then... Is it the spool liner? I think, yeah. So at least they do less HE damage if you do run that. So it's definitely well worth running that. You need to, because you're going to get wrecked. So even there, the Sheridan, you know, yes, it's annoying because I wasn't spotted. He's hiding. He's going to have better camouflage. So he gets basically a free shot against me. But even here, you're going to see. So there goes my AMX 30B. The Sheridan's hiding. I've got the Object 140, the E3 here. I'm in no situation to be going there. And again, you will actually get a few of these. I managed to bounce that E3. You're going to get that often, but you can't obviously rely on that. But yeah, the amount of times you bounce in this tank is incredible. I mean, the size of the gun, if you play it right, there are going to be a lot of people out there that will shoot the gun. And it's very frustrating if you're in a tank with a big gun, like Big Alpha, and you try and shoot the Grille with HE, and they sort of move about. The likelihood of it hitting its gun is very, very high, actually, and you'll be surprised how often this happens. I think I've done a video a while ago saying that the Grille's best armor is the gun. The gun is its armor because it is just so freaking big. So here you're going to see, or we've just shown you, how we're able to get around that map. You know, at one point I was left, and I was in a bit of trouble. I managed to get the lucky bounce that I did, and now I've managed to get around the other side of the map very, very quickly. And because of that, the game has now changed. Yes, it's a 3 versus 3. I'm very low hit points. The E50M is very low hit points. But the red team also have a Sheridan one-shot, the Object 140 one-shot. So I can actually take a shot here. But of course, I do want to clear the Sheridan because I am a potential one-shot to him. And I just want to back up. Luckily, that guy tries the shot and he misses. So I was able to take a shot, and I do manage to take him out. And before you know it, it's now a 3 versus 1. However, we still need to be very careful because the enemy have a full hit point E3 who's going to become unspotted very, very quickly. So at this point, I'm like, do I stay and cap? No, I need to get there, because if I stay in cap, I know it would have probably been done by now. But the longer I'm sat at that cap, the longer that the E3 is actually destroying our Minotauro. As you can see, he's already lost most of his hit points. So I thought I needed to make that move. And you can see I'm trying to go away from the Minotauro here. I don't want to be behind him because that is where the E3 is going to be looking. So yes, I do want to come side on against this E3. So now the E3 has the Minotauro in front of him, me at the side of him, and also the E50M there as well. So unfortunately for the Minotauro, he does die, and at this point I'm not taking any risks. I'm trying to back up, because if I die now it could be all game over. But luckily for me, he wasn't looking at me, he was trying to look at the E50M, and I just load up the HE and I get a free kill there. So that game, it started off really, really bad. However, I still managed to get 6 kills, stay alive, 4.5k damage, and I did get the Mastery Badge. So I didn't want to show that just because I got the Mastery Badge. It really was because the way that this tank can be played, if you do get into a situation where you've got tanks all around you, because of the speed of the tank, you can get out of there pretty goddamn quickly. And that is what I love about this tank. Let me know what you think of the Grille. I know there are some people out there that won't like it, and there will be some people out there that absolutely love it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Grille 15. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.